Hey guys, during the Blackout beta, I captured a lot of game footage, and today I spent the day going through some of that footage and going frame by frame. I found some pretty interesting stuff. I'm going to be focused on the hallucination area of the map. That's when the circle closes in and you actually take damage if you're on the outside. Now, I know people can see the numbers that are flashing, and people have seen Samantha's face flash on the screen, but there's a lot more that's going on here if you go really slowly and do look at it frame by frame. There are some other faces in this hallucination that flash. In addition to Samantha, it also flashes the new zombie language and then some other logos and then also a hidden phrase. I'll show you guys all the faces that show up in the hallucinations and also let you guys know what the phrase is. But the reason why I think this is important is because of an interview that Vandahar did. He said there is a story below the surface here for the Blackout mode, and they're not shoving that story in your face. You have to seek out these answers and start to put the puzzle together. David Vandahar said that there's a 10-year history with the Black Ops universe. With the storyline, he wants to answer the questions: why are we flying over this map? Why are we jumping out of helicopters? And why does this map even exist? Does it have something to do with the zombies and maybe an outbreak? Vandahar said that the release of Blackout is like day one of this outbreak or whatever chaos is going on this map. And over 365 days, what they're going to do is tell a story, and they're going to slowly change the environment and transform it going along with this storyline. They're also going to base a lot of what they do with telling the story based on what we think and our feedback and maybe some good ideas from the community. He wants to answer the question, is there a war going on or what's happening here? And he's going to guide us through that story based on the opinions and the ideas of the community. I mean, I'm sure they've got some kind of idea for a base story, and I think that's what we're seeing here in the hallucinations outside the circle. The first thing people probably notice and the easiest thing to see in the hallucinations are the numbers that flash. Now, these numbers go from 0 to 9, and these are a part of the Black Ops campaign. The very opening scene of the Black Ops campaign, you see Alex Mason strapped to a chair in an interrogation room, and he's bombarded with questions by his unseen captors. They're trying to find out about the location of a numbers station, and this is the popular line you hear: the numbers, Mason, what do they mean? Well, these are the numbers from that scene. Another thing you may notice in the hallucinations that flash are words, but they're so fast, it's really hard to tell what they are. And some of them are forwards and some of them are written backwards. And right here you can see the word like up at the top and also down at the bottom on the sides. Right here for a split second you see the word break and it's written backwards. Right here it looks like an IW, but this is actually the word I'm. It's just flipped upside down. And then right here you can see the word feel backwards on the screen at the top and then again on the bottom, right and left. In some parts of the hallucination, you can see the letters ING, and sometimes that can be written backwards or upside down as well. But these words put together form the phrase, I feel like I'm breaking. This entire phrase also shows up all together on the screen, and sometimes it's jumbled and sometimes it's written backwards. Right here, it shows the entire phrase, and it's really tiny and difficult to see, and I've enhanced it here so you can read it really well, but it definitely says, I feel like I'm breaking. And on the bottom left, you can see how it sometimes shows up jumbled up, but it's still the same phrase. And the last way that it can show up is in one long line, and it can show up backwards, and it does still say, I feel like I'm breaking. I just wanted to show you guys all the different ways that it shows up, just in case you're in the hallucinations and you're like, oh, I see something different. Well, no, they're all the same phrase. I've definitely looked into this sentence to see if it was said by Alex Mason or Samantha or some of the other popular characters in Call of Duty. I haven't found anything. Maybe some of you guys out there know what this is referring to. I'll show you guys the rest of the images that show up in the hallucinations, and then maybe it will give us a good idea of what this could mean or what it could be pointing to. The next thing I was very surprised to see is the new zombies language. Now, in an interview with Game Informer, they said they spoke to Jason Blundell, and he said that there were 3 fully formed languages in all of the zombies universe. So far we know of the Apothicon language, and we know about the Keeper language. It looks like for Black Ops 4, there is a 3rd full language. And Jason has definitely been dropping the clues about it. He had it all over the screen during the Black Ops 4 reveal in May, and then at the Zombies Comic-Con panel, he showed up with a shirt that had it on the front. At this time, we cannot translate this language. It is not possible. We do not have enough information, so it's not even worth trying. There's not enough there. But for future reference, when we do know what these symbols mean, I'll go ahead and show you guys what all shows up in the hallucinations on Blackout. So there are 5 symbols that show up, and you can see them on the bottom right here. It's interesting that there are 5 symbols, and the phrase "I feel like I'm breaking" is 5 words. Now, I don't know if that matches up or not. Probably not. Some of these symbols in Blackout we've seen before on Jason's shirt. There's 2 on his shirt that match up with the ones in Blackout. The symbols in white are what is on Jason's shirt, and I really can't wait to find out what all of these mean. Moving on to the logos that show up, there's one that has a type of eagle surrounding an N and a 6. This is definitely Nova 6. Nova 6 has a very long history with the Black Ops universe, starting from the very beginning. Nova 6 is a biochemical weapon developed by Nazi, Soviet, and Coalescence scientists in Call of Duty Black Ops continuity. It was originally developed by Nazi Germany during the course of World War II and intended for use inside rockets that targeted major capital cities such as Washington, D.C. and Moscow. It's used in the storyline of all of the Call of Duties, and the Black Ops campaign focuses entirely around Nova 6. You can find the Nova 6 insignia inside of the Black Ops campaign, and that's what you're seeing on the right here. Obviously, it matches up pretty well, except for they took the Nazi swastika out of it. You can also find these canisters with the Nova 6 insignia on the map 5. That's what you're seeing right here. And obviously just supporting the backstory of the Nova 6 crawlers that are on this map. And I think it's pretty safe to say that the reason it shows up in the hallucinations is because that's what the circle is made of. And I remember the community talking a lot about this, how they wanted the circle to be the Nova gas, and it looks like they're definitely listening to the community, or they just happen to have the same great idea that everybody else did. The next symbol that shows up is nothing too fancy, but it's the biohazard symbol, and you can see it really clearly on the left right there, and it's obviously letting you know that the area that you're in is bad for your health, so you better move. The next symbol that shows up is something that you see on the loading screen. You also see it inside of RAID on several monitors, and it just shows up in little places here and there, and it also shows up in the hallucinations. And it's clearly some type of insignia that is representing some type of group, and not 100% sure about what this is, but I do have some speculation. It's possible that this is representing a group called the GK Nova 6. The first time we heard of GK Nova 6 was from a website that functioned as a promoter for the Black Ops game. It was kind of a mysterious website. It had an old television on it, and this television would show different images, and this website would get updated with more and more televisions, and the TVs would show references to like the Cold War and nuclear weapons. This promoter website for Black Ops was gknova6.com, and that name definitely bears a resemblance to the biochemical agent Nova 6. Then when Black Ops came out, there was one piece of intel in the game that the GK company is said to have been used by the Soviet Union to distribute Nova 6 to its agents in America. I tried to see if there was a GK Nova 6 logo, and there is one, but it looks like a G and a K smashed together, and it's definitely not this bird logo. Following the official Black Ops reveal, the GK Nova 6 site was radically changed to show frantic images of zombies running unleashed in an unknown facility. This is actually what the game looks like when the player selects the zombies option in the main menu. And then obviously it was the location of the interrogation of Alex Mason in the campaign. There is one clue that can maybe tell us what this logo or insignia is linked to, and it's in the loading screen of Blackout. There's this one screen where it looks like there's probably a folder, and you can see that logo on the top left, and on the right it says confidential, and then there's a date of February 25th, 1968. So it looks like whoever this group is has some confidential information that is classified based on that date, and that date is actually really significant to the Black Ops campaign. That is the day where Mason is being interrogated in that room surrounded by those monitors. At the end of the campaign, he gets up and leaves, and you find out that he's in the NSA building, so that logo doesn't look anything like the bird logo. And I couldn't find this logo showing up anywhere in this campaign. So whoever this group is, they've got some confidential information and a file, most likely on Alex Mason, and it's based on that interrogation. But it's cool to see references in this mode that's taking us way back to the beginning. The next thing I want to show you are the faces that show up in the hallucinations. There are 3 faces that you can see. This face right here is probably the most difficult to identify, but what it is just a zombie face. And right here on the bottom left, I'm showing you exactly what that zombie image looks like if you were to have it like super enhanced. Sometimes this zombie face shows up all over the game screen, like you can see right here. You can barely make out the eyes, but it's there. The next face most everybody has seen, and it's Samantha. And sometimes she'll show up on the bottom left or the right or really big all over the screen, but this is the image that you do see. The last face that shows up, I haven't really seen people talk about, but it's Victor Reznov. I guess why he's showing up and his connections to Nova 6 are from the Black Ops campaign. There was a mission called Project Nova where he helped to go in and try to capture the Nazi scientist that was the mastermind behind Nova 6. But I'm curious to see what you guys think about all this information and how you would piece it together, and maybe y'all have some information about that bird insignia logo. But I hope you guys enjoyed this, and we'll see you next video.
Thank you for watching Glitching Queen's video. Hoorah!